All right. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I know it's been a few days. I hope you didn't think that I forgot about you. Now, what is the stream? It's got so many things that are going to be in it. What's the essence? I'm not going to split out subtopics and categorize and give each viewer a folder of their individualized thing. Essentially it's reaching out for people that also have a broad set of interests and want to cover that kind of thing. Science. Anyway, remember we have the Hythloday principle here. Oh wait, I didn't want to do that. I was just going to move that out of the way. We'll do this instead. Oops. Huh. Let me move up. Okay, don't know what that's all about. So it's the Hythloday principle. Which is help a brother or sister. No, let's put it this way. And sister out. Right? Don't just collect attitudes, but distribute attitudes. When you see people that have a fatally flawed attitude, help them out. You should have a strong opinion. This didn't come naturally to me. Well, I mean, I have a strong opinion. I just don't have the kind of opinion that thinks that other people are supposed to have it. It's like for me to figure out. I'm curious in your opinion, and it might inform me. I might say, ooh, those are nice cabinet knobs. I'll use those kind of cabinet knobs. I'll make that a copy of that. So the idea is things that are useful. So what's something useful that I can teach people? Well, there's three things I've thought of. There's more, but let's just say it's these three things. Two of the three I've talked about in my YouTube channel all this time, quite often. But one of them I haven't. Uh-oh. One of them I have not. And that's actually the most valuable one that I also have the least reason to discuss with people, in that it's pretty hard to find somebody to have a back and forth. Well, it's not hard for me because I'm in the industry, but I mean just like on a public channel like this. But I can disseminate what would objectively be the most valuable information based on the fact that you could make money mastering it, right? Now, I think the other two are pretty important too. So let's do all three of them. The first two being things I think are fairly straightforward, and I have shared here a little bit, but it's sometimes hard because again, it's like I'm not, I'm here looking for a discussion, whereas people need some basic information before they're up to a high quality discussion. I think people should know more about these two things. Okay, one of them is basic physics. Let's say basic classical physics. The other one would be formal, well, let's not, basic, oops, formal logic especially first order logic. And this one would be especially Newtonian physics. But that means knowing what's limited about it too, what we found out that why it's limited. Now the third one that I mentioned before is programming. Programming computers, otherwise known as software engineering. Which is how I make a living, and pretty much the only way I've ever made a living, except for a couple jobs at a theater and a combination donut sandwich shop. And I worked very shortly at a used computer store in Oakland or Berkeley. And other than that, always programming. So we can go over here. So physics. The brief on what I'll go through on physics over and over is just these kind of things. We have first of all, there's D. Well, it depends how you want to. So there's a distance, mass, and time, right? And those are the three measurables. And then you've got everything else. You've got velocity is distance by time. You have acceleration equals velocity by time, which also equals distance over time squared. You've got F equals ma, which is also equal to m times distance per time squared. These things also have the units associated, which, there's various units, of course, but let's say they're the kilometer and the kilogram and the second, but it could also be the mile, pound, and I hate it when it does that. Oh my god. What is... The pound and also the second. Okay, so you have, these are the basic things, and there's other things, energy and other things, and how the units, and the fact that you can always, any given unit has a physical meaning. Let's say we had time per time B, time A per time B. What? How could you divide a time by time? Well, let's say we had a watch, and that would be the amount of seconds per day. Seconds per day that the clock slows down, or whatever. All right. Now, similarly with logic, you've got, first of all, you got the A implies B stuff. So, like, that would be, well, first of all, something like A might be Clyde is a turtle. And B is Clyde likes water. So this would say that Clyde is a turtle, therefore Clyde likes water. Or you could also say, if Clyde is a turtle, then Clyde likes water. And then the next step is you end up saying something like, A of X implies B of X, where A of X, instead of Clyde, A in this case would equal, A sub X would equal X is a turtle. So if I have a turtle named Clyde or a turtle named Bob, then this works for both of them to say that X is a turtle. That if X is a turtle, then X likes water. Now, to have truth, you can't have truth in that because it depends on X. So first order logic, you also have these quantifiers, which are they called qualifiers? Forget. So there exists an X such that A of X implies B of X, means that there is an example of something that's a turtle that therefore also it likes water. And then there's for all X. So you can assert that for all X, if it's a turtle, then it likes water. And working through those is the basics of logic. And as far as software, it's just that I had a fascination with software, reading science fiction even as a kid, computer programming. And then junior high, I saw a computer in a kind of a closety hallway place at an Apple II. Caught my eye. I was kind of scared of it. Then I was a year ahead in the math, so I took geometry the last year. It was a 3-year junior high going to a 3-year high school, so 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so 9th grade or something like that would have been 83 or 82. I started using the computer because I had to for the geometry class. They made us do it as a kind of a required / extra credit thing. And then I just started programming computers and did Apple Basic and 6502 and ended up getting jobs. I got a summer job at NASA Ames Research Center as a student for a couple years in a row, and then I worked there when I went to college, and then I transferred to the University of California Astronomy Department. So by the time I graduated, though I had a philosophy degree, I also had 6 years of scientific computing experience, and that worked out to be pretty useful. So then I worked like 6 years in or 8 years in .coms and startups as right before and during the internet boom starting. And I got sick of that and moved back to science. And then for the last 7 years, I've had my own business. So I don't know what that blinking light is back there. I guess that's just the camera. Oh no. Oh yeah. That's my color laser printer, which is a childhood dream come true. Pretty reasonable now. And it says I need a new toner all of a sudden. It doesn't last as long. The black lasts a long, long time. So anyway, so programming wise, yeah, I'm a professional and quality software engineer, full stack, specializing in distributed architectures, scientific quality data processing pipelines, and also business and PI quality, and also front end as a part of the full stack. So I've done all of that a lot, and it feels like just a recent part of my career, but now my business is 7 years old, so quite a long time. Over here we have Dissident Science, which is just one of these anti-mainstream science people. I'm basically the leading. He considers the highest number and promotes people other than himself, and suffering from a somewhat of the same lacks as other um, uh, counter science, but counter science establishment science. Like not a lot of experiment and stuff, more just like logical conjecture, like this has to be true because it makes sense. No offense, dissident science. But he is a lot more, together than a lot of your average dissident scientists types that you would see around. And so, um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I just want to make a short stream. I definitely trying to keep up the show here. I know I need to make quality content worth people's time. And I have a lot to say about programming and programming stories that might be of interest both to people that want to take that seriously and become a good programmer, but also just to people that like to get exposed to, the details of other sorts of careers, especially as this one now sort of impacts us all. I have inside information on the nature of computer encryption and Bitcoin. I read the Bitcoin white paper when Bitcoin was still under $1. So I understand what it's doing that whole time. Now, would I bet on making the money on it? No, I didn't buy any. I thought it was bullshit. And if I had, I never would have held on to it long enough for it to be millions of dollars. So, but I do understand the underlying mechanism. I can explain to you why I don't trust it as its promise and stuff, even while I think that it's a very interesting algorithm. I would say brilliant rather than elegant because it's designed on being inefficient. So it uses inefficiency as its basic mechanism for working, which is not what I would consider grand, elegant computer science, especially if that's supposed to make a machine more trustworthy than the humans that own the machines, which is impossible. So that's that. I don't think there's much more. I've got to go spend some lovely time with my beautiful, lovely wife and partner. Um, so I think, did I put, yeah, the Twitch thing is in there. I would like people to go check out the Twitch. I think that, and I'm not saying I really know the companies in general, but I don't like the way YouTube went and how in the last 7 years it's hard to find new conversation. I'd like to mix it up, so that's why there's the Discord and these other services and all the other things I'm going to add or whatever, or have someone add, or who knows. All right, before I go, let's see if anybody showed up in such a short. Let's see. I guess 2 or 3 different people. Who knows how they keep? Oh, J. Troy Doe, of course. Hello. Always, probably right away, and I didn't look. Ravel to Expand says, how it hanging? It's hanging very good. End of summer, had a great time. One of the reasons we had to take some time off is some family flew in at the last minute because we had a chance to go to this kind of a pop-up restaurant, fancy, and we were also excited that even a couple family flew in, so we did that. And it wasn't like that took up 3 days, but flew in. I didn't really have time for a stream. It's an old greeting. Which greeting was it? Oh, I forgot to do my intro. Welcome to the... Oh, I should just record that so I can play that like as part of the warming up music. You can't put Clyde in a mathematical formula. Well, no, you can't. That's the whole point of logic, right? First order logic in math Same thing. Math is made out of first order logic. And then when they try to make it set theory or whatever to fix its problems, and then they can't do that, so they make constructability or whatever they're going to try. The bottom line is it's all about first order logic. First order logic, or rather mathematics, is first order logic applied to numbers, where the x's and y's are numbers. And that's pretty much the only limitation. New phone, who is it? Ravel 2. You can't put Clyde in a... Okay, wait. I missed the old green, right? Okay, what is Clyde? Clyde is the turtle. What happened to the turtles? Well, I just saw a turtle today. Where they got warm. I went out on the boat. I have a great, very funky boat with some AstroTurf and no walls, and it's just a platform. It's converted. I just converted it from a workboat. And there was a turtle swimming right next to me, and so I just happened to be thinking about turtles. And turtles do like water. They never existed. I'm not sure who they aren't. And then it's an inanimate idea. Probably going to go watch some inanimation by Miyazaki. So that's a good way to end it. Okay, nobody over at the Twitch, because you're all a bunch of YouTube boomers. And I'm gonna find out how to promote myself. I think I'm gonna like try to pay some kid to like just promote these things, right? Hey, if anybody wants to do that for me, you could always send me a message and take your chances that I know how to receive that message. How about on Twitch? Yeah, send me a mail on notification on Twitch, because I don't know how to get those on YouTube anymore. Yeah, send me a notification. You know how to do that, or a whisper or something. I don't know how to do it. What's a bit? I need somebody to tell me how Twitch even works, really, to be honest. Okay, I mean, not entirely. I mean, it's streaming on Twitch right now with the whole, in a way, have that all figured out. But I mean, like, what's a bit? When people do subs, what good does that do? Is that money? I don't understand these things. Hire a producer. I'm going to hire a producer because that conveys how important it is, because people will pay attention if they think you're trying to sell them something. Like, if you think you're just trying to have an exchange of ideas, this culture is too consumer-addled and addicted to take that kind of presentation seriously, right? So I'm just playing the game. Old dog can learn new tricks. So, yeah. I think that's where we're going. Go out now. Dream will be ending. 3, 2.